Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a brand new video to do the controversial parenting tag. I was tagged to do this, so couldn't wait to get stuck in. If you're new to my channel, I'm Jessica. I try to upload videos every single week. If you're not a subscriber already, don't forget to do so, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, so the first topic is pro-life versus pro-choice. Before I got pregnant, I would say no, I don't like abortions, I don't like them. You got yourself in that situation, you should see it through. It sounds really bad because I know there's other different situations and circumstances that can arise. Ever since I've had Edward, you just know how you then know how hard it is to have a baby, and financial situations, and you have to be mentally ready to have a child too. I have now changed my mind after having a baby, so I'm all for pro-choice, 100%. If you're not ready to have a child and you've got yourself into a sticky situation, I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. This is my opinion. If you keep on being a little bit irresponsible and you keep getting pregnant and then you keep aborting babies, I think that's, you know, it's not great. Baby wearing, I love baby wearing, I really do. I did want to get a like a harness when I was pregnant. I loved the way it looked, but I just never really got around to buying one. I think I would like to buy one in the near future, because taking a pram everywhere is just such a pain in the bum, it really is. I really do like baby wearing. I think it looks wicked as well. I think it looks really lovely, and sometimes it's just more convenient, I think. The next topic is circumcision. If there's nothing wrong with it, if you're not religious or you don't need it done for any sort of medical reason, then leave it alone. Honestly, I just think it's there for a reason. They are born with it. Leave it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just leave it there. The next topic is adoption. Now, who can say they're against adoption? Seriously. I don't even know why this is in here. Adoption is the most amazing thing ever, and if you are thinking about adopting, or if you have adopted, seriously good on you. I just think it's amazing, I really do. You don't have to be blood to love that child or to become a family. I just think it's beautiful, I really do. Okay, baby piercing. Don't really know where to start a baby piercing. Yeah, this definitely should be in the controversial tag, 100%. Right, baby piercing. I know some cultures have it. Some people think it looks nice. I don't think it looks nice, personally, I really don't. And if you just do it because you like the way it looks, you're basically using your child as a fashion accessory. I'm really sorry if I'm offending anybody, that's just the way I see it. And I just don't, I think it looks horrible. I really do. Leave your baby's ears alone. Don't change your baby's ears. They're gorgeous and perfect the way they are. Just leave them alone. Next is breast milk versus formula milk. When I was pregnant, I really wanted to breastfeed. You know, stuff happened, you know, it's not the end of the world that I couldn't breastfeed. I just don't see why we get ourselves so worked up if we can't breastfeed, or if we don't want to breastfeed. I don't see what the big deal is here. I really don't. It really upset me though. Every time I saw a midwife or I saw a doctor or the health visitor after I had Edward, the first question they'd ask you is, are you breastfeeding or are you bottle feeding? Which one? And if you say you're bottle feeding, you just instantly just think they're judging you, and that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't feel that people are judging you because you're bottle feeding your child. You're feeding your child, the baby's getting nutrition, it's getting milk. If formula milk is so bad, they wouldn't sell it. It's as simple as that. And who cares if you can't breastfeed your child, or if you don't want to breastfeed your child? Who cares if you're bottle feeding your baby? Like, mums can't win. We literally can't win. If you're breastfeeding, you go you go and feed your baby in public, and then someone just gives you a horrible look because you got your boob out and you're feeding your child, so you're doing something wrong there. Or if you've got a breastfeeding parent over there and she sees you sticking a bottle in your baby's mouth, she then judges you. So you can't win either way. At the end of the day, it's your child. You feed the baby the way you want to feed your child. If you want to breastfeed, brilliant. If you want to bottle feed, even more brilliant. It really is. You're feeding your baby. You're not neglecting your child, not feeding your child at all. You're feeding your child either way. Society shouldn't have to force us to breastfeed our children. Okay, next is spanking, so slapping. A little tap, I don't see anything wrong with it. Obviously I'm not going to go and do it every single 5 minutes of the time he misbehaves, but sometimes you're just so pushed and you're just so frustrated, and sometimes you feel that that's the only result you've got left. It was only 5.5 months old. He hasn't pushed me to the point where I've just tapped his hand. I haven't done that. Ideally, I wouldn't like to, but you know, I never say never. I probably would just do it the once and I hate myself forever for it and I'll never do it again. One thing about spanking and hitting, which I don't agree with, is doing it in public and humiliating your child in front of people. I don't think that's very nice. If you want to discipline your child, I think you should take your child away from the situation and do it privately, just you two. That is my opinion, and so that's what I think on spanking. Next is co-sleeping. I didn't want to co-sleep. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't want to co-sleep with Edward. When I sleep, I literally go into a sleep coma, and if I rolled over, and yeah, just the thought of it just freaks me out completely. If there's 3 of you in the bed, it's crammed, you know, get extra hot because of the body heat. I never want Edward getting so hot at night, because getting really, really hot can cause cot death. So that is no reason why I wouldn't want to co-sleep with Edward either. If one day he's really ill and he wants to just come in bed with his mum and dad, there's nothing wrong with that. We've all done that as kids, where you just want to go and lay next to your mum or go and lay next to your dad. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But making it into a habit and having your baby in your bed every single night, you then may have a clingy baby, and it just makes sleeping that all bit difficult. Personally, I don't like co-sleeping, not when they're that young. I'd rather them get used to having to sleep independently on their own. It makes the journey so much more easier trying to raise your child. Sleeping is such a big thing. And I think the moment they're born, just introduce it straight away, and then before they know it, they'll be sleeping in their own bed and won't be running to and from their bed trying to get in your bed all the time, and I just think that's easier. Next is home versus public versus private schooling. I was privately educated when I went to primary school. To be honest with you, that did me the world of good. It really did, and I really feel like I benefited from that. The school I went to, we used to go swimming every Tuesday, and we used to swim like 50 lengths, and I then developed a really good swimming technique from doing that. Nothing wrong with going to public schools, because I went to a public secondary school. I just think sometimes if you feel that your child needs an extra push, and if they are getting a little bit distracted by 30 odd children in their class, and of course if you have the money, then I think private is a good call. In my class I only had about 9 people, and I think there was like 30 or 25 in my whole year. So the teacher knows you personally very, very, very well. I feel in a public school you're just a number. So I personally think private is a really good idea. Again, we probably won't be private educating Edward because it's money, it's very expensive. So the good old public school down our road local to us is really, really good. It's one of the good ones, so we will be sending him there. I did go to a public junior school, and I was bullied there for quite a long time, so that's why my mum took me out of there and then put me into a private school. I know what the difference are in the 2 different schools, so I can compare. I think homeschool, it's a good idea. I generally love the idea. If you as a parent is going to teach your children, I'm just not smart enough. I can't even do simple maths equations. I'm terrible. I'll teach them the wrong thing, knowing me. I think homeschooling as well, I think they should be in schools, because they get used to being around children and, you know, socialising as well. They should be out there making friends, you know, cutting their knee on the playground, climbing frames, being, at the end of the day, being children. And I think school is a massive, massive part of that. Some of my best memories of where it was when I was in school. So I think sending them to schools is better. But homeschooling is a lovely idea, but it wouldn't work for us. Okay, next is vaccinations. I'm going to be really honest with you, I don't really know too much about why people don't want to vaccinate their children. I don't know why people wouldn't want to vaccinate. Yeah, we vaccinated Edward, he's all up to date. He's got more when he's 12 months, so we've got a while yet, thank God, it's a nice little break. But I just think, why would you want your child to catch any diseases or any illnesses when you've kept them nice and safe in your tummy for 9 months, you've taken your folic acid, you've watched everything that you eat, you're extra careful during your pregnancy, and then you bring the baby out, beaming, your little pride and joy, and then you choose not to vaccinate your kids. I just think you're going against what you tried to do, protecting them when you're pregnant. Personally, I don't see why people wouldn't want to vaccinate their children. Next is medicating children. Nothing wrong with giving a bit of Calpol if they've got a temperature. We only give Calpol and any sort of other medications to Edward if he needs it. If it's like he might, we don't. We just don't want him to build up a tolerance to it, so if and when he really does need it, it's not going to do anything for him. So we like to have the Calpol or whatever medicine as a backup in case he is bad, and we can just give it to him and we know he'll be fine. So we only give it to him when he needs it. Next is cloth versus disposable nappies. I think disposable are great. I would go to disposable all day, every day. I think the cloth nappies, they do look wicked. I think they look really cute on. I couldn't go through all that extra work. No joke, my washing pile is as tall as me. No, just take the nappy off, put it in the bin, and then just get a new one, you know. My sister-in-law is using ones that don't take as long to degrade. I think like a normal nappy takes X amount of years. I can't tell you how many years, but these ones that she's using they take 4 years to degrade. If that's the reason why you want to use cloth ones, because it's, you know, good for the environment, maybe you should consider using organic nappies because they don't take as long to degrade. I can ask her, and I can leave the link down below of the brand that she uses if you're interested. I can leave that down for you. Lastly is the Cry It Out method. Because he's only 5.5 months old, we haven't really used it yet. We do, but we don't, not to when they get a little bit older and then they cry and make themselves sick. The thought of a baby just screaming itself to sleep breaks my heart. I just think they're crying because they want you, and I just think if my baby wanted me that bad and was crying for me, I couldn't just sit downstairs and ignore him. Obviously, every time he whinges, I don't go running and pick him up because you're then going to get a clingy baby. So it's finding somewhere in between. I think we go a couple of minutes, if not 5-6 minutes. If he is screaming, like top of his lungs screaming, I go to him straight away because he's not a whingy baby at all. You do generally know what cry is what. If your baby just suddenly starts screaming for no reason, you are going to go running and think what's wrong, what's happened. Again, it all depends on your child, I think, but the thought of her baby crying until it goes to sleep and making itself physically sick, I think is quite sad. So no, I don't think I'd let Edward get to that point. I don't like anyone getting to that stage, so no, we wouldn't be doing the Cry It Out method, definitely not. So that was all the topics. I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope I didn't offend anybody. I can be quite opinionated, it's one of my traits, so I hope I didn't upset anybody. So again, if you liked what I had to say, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. Again, thank you for watching everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.